All right,
Greg.
this is this is Loopy again, also known Gov-Na LoOpy. We are back again with the Circle of Black Love here at the round table, as I like to call it. And we have DJ Killzownjones, but just call him Killzone. We have Jashawn, and we have finally a female, yay, V. That's what I call her. We're going to start things off a little differently this time. This time we're going to start things off with the question of the week. The question of the week is something I picked up after seeing a few things on Facebook, and it just made me ask why. Excuse my stuffiness. And the question is why some black men, not all, why some black men feel the necessity to compare black women to white women, and mainly no other ethnicity. I mean, it's like they say everything black women are doing is wrong, and everything white women is doing it right, and we just need to correct our ways to all become white women on the inside. That's what it feels like. Feelings aren't fact. So I could have a lot to say on this for days, but what I really want to do is take the time to see what people here in this circle have to say about it. Jashawn?
I don't know. I don't feel that it's a necessity. I think people just go off of what they know, like experience. So if they've experienced mainly white women and black women, then I mean the comparison's there. That's probably what they'll make. If they went with Latinas or any other ethnicity, then they'll probably know. But I mean, you don't really hear about too many people that say like, "Oh, I got an Asian chick or something like that one's better." It's like it just don't happen. At least not in my experience, you know.
That's acceptable.
I think because many people don't have like a lot of parts of the country, if you live in like a New York or Chicago or Texas or like LA, that's the only comparison that you got to really draw on is white people, because that's what you're seeing in the immediate vicinity. And I don't think it need people, black people need to compare, black men compare black women to white women. I just think that it's basically like I think the behaviors. So I think when you got black women, and versus white women, and they see the black girls, they might see getting into fights and stuff like that, and they might see the white girls, they may not do that. So we've been conditioned for so long that white people are supposed to be superior, and it was a movie back in the day. I don't know if y'all remember it, called Jungle Fever. So it's kind of like, okay, if a dude and get with a black woman, and he's been getting with black women, it's almost like a rite of passage for black dudes to get with a white woman and not die, because that's another thing that happened back in the day was black men couldn't get with white women, but now they can. So and I think too is certain things that, like, I think that it was this scene on Atlanta where it was the girl's Childish Gambino's girlfriend and her partners went to Drake's party after they had broke up, and this white girl sat down with this attractive black dude, and then he got up to go to the bathroom, and the black girl was upset with her, and she was basically asking why, how did she end up getting black dude? I ain't trying to be long-winded. I'm gonna wrap it up. So basically, the white girl said that, that the white women tend to listen more, and they tend to support, the men when they're down, and things of that nature, and they support the dreams of the black man or whatever. And the black woman said, well, I'm broke. I don't have time to support the a brother's dream. I need my bills paid, da 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 da. So this is why I guess black men are flocking to white women, but it's not always like that. You got, for every Stacy you got in Jill or whoever, you got your bad babies. It's just as many white trash or ghetto white women as it is ghetto black women. So a lot of times, men try to use white women as like the scapegoat because they're less aggressive, I guess. I don't want to be too long-winded, but just breaking that down as to why that's being said.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree a little bit.
I mean, I personally don't feel like that. I'm just telling you what the brothers are saying.
I get what you're saying, but the logic is not there. And the reason why the logic is not there is because I've said this before, a black woman will support a black man in his dreams. And once the money and the power come, he feel like that she's below or beneath him and that he needs to do better and he needs something to match his new him. Because somebody said this to me earlier today. He said people grow. He said just like your body changes every 7 years, people change every 7 years, and you got to keep getting to know whoever you're with. And that's going to touch on a subject that we have coming later on, not today, but later on. It's evolving together versus growing apart. The man, when he decides that she does not measure up to his new status, he automatically decides that he's going to grow into another direction versus evolving with what he has. So to say that black women aren't as supportive is more like, I'd have to say, being fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. It's like, you got to be cautious of who you support and why you support them, because in a minute, they can just leave you in the dust, and it's like you were nothing. Because they feel like they haven't deserved better.
I'm going to say this. I feel like when you look at it, like that's anybody, because I've seen it both ways. I've seen dudes have like put a chick up on game, and then classic example. Like,
okay, look,
I'm just saying, I've seen
the main topic. This is just the question of the day. I should have rebutted, but I couldn't help myself. We need to move on to V so that we can get to what the rest of the stuff, because we got about an hour on this one. V?
It varies. It depends on where they're from. Like, where I grew up, we never even thought about it, or my group, my generation never thought about it. We never look at it as that. It was never white versus black. It was just the fact of, where's your mind at? Are you mature or are you immature? Like, where do you see yourself? How do you see yourself? I personally didn't have to view it like that until I moved to the United States of America. Like, until I moved to Florida, I didn't have to view anything of that sort. So white women, black women, it's all depending on the mentality. Like, where are you? How mature are you? How much have you grown? How little have you grown?
And that, my friends, I don't know why I said those. That, my friends, is a mature, grown-ass woman answer. Which I love. Now, we're going to go into what's probably going to be more than one part with this discussion, just the way that I have it spread out. It is the breakdown of the Black African American family. And the part one would be the fall of the Black family. And mainly what we want to discuss here is why why we're not coming together and making families and building on that. Excuse me. Because a lot of people don't realize that when you make families and you build on that, and then another family makes a family and they build on that, they're adding something to the community, especially if it's a positive family. And they're making us look a little better. They're growing together. They're making money together. They're building up their community together. A lot of community building comes from families and a family mindset. So this is mainly to discuss that. And the second, I have to say the third and fourth part of this would be evolving together versus growing apart. That's very far down the line. But first, before we get into any of this, I'm going to thank the sources that I looked at that helped me come up with some of the things that we're going to discuss tonight. And that is a scholar named Dawn, with the last name that begins with an M. I didn't write that down. I don't know why. And what we're going to do is we're going to get into the 60s. We're going to go back to the 60s where white Americans' marriage rate was around 76% and African Americans around 61%. The only reason why I only have black and white is because it was that's the main thing talked about, and I didn't really want to have a whole list of ethnicities. It's a lot. And then we're going to fast forward to 2008 when white marriages were around 56% and African Americans around 32%. That means in 2008, 32% of African Americans, or black people, however you like to say it, were getting married. And in 2010, this is not a big surprise to anyone. There were more single mothers than married mothers. There were more mothers with no father present than any other. I looked at any other ethnicity, which is kind of it's sad a little bit. But that's the reason sometimes you'll see people overpraising men when they do fatherly duties that they're supposed to do. Like the moment you have sex with a woman, you're saying, I accept the fact that I could impregnate you and I'm taking responsibility for that. In 2011, it was reported that 72% of black babies were born to unmarried mothers. Again, not a surprise. But the big question that I have for everyone here is, why do you think that is? Why do you think that we, as the black or our African American community, that our numbers are so low as families, and that as single mothers, our rates are so high?
Why is marriage a must?
Yeah, take off, because I got some opinions about this.
Oh, go ahead. Take the lead.
No, because
no, he's long-winded. He's trying to say everybody go before him so that he can go long. But no, marriage
not
is
too
not
long,
a must.
but yeah.
But building a unity is not a must, but it is building a union. And when you build a union, you build a home and a house. And if another person builds a unity in a home, then we can both come together as a community. Not to say that if you don't have a home and a house, you can't come together as a community. But it's like, I got my family over here, my crew. We're relating to your crew. Let's get together and build something that makes all of us safe. And you can do that, not be married. You could do that as a single mother. Go to your other single mother neighbor. I'm a single mother. You're a single mother. Let's build a neighborhood to be safe. But in my eyes, I'm a traditionalist. It just looks better with married families. It looks better under a union. It looks better under a home.
So my question would be, when you're how you're viewing it, looks all you're looking for? Is looks all you're viewing? Because just looking at it, just because there's a husband, a wife, and a kids, doesn't mean that that's a stable home. It doesn't mean that's a successful home.
It's very true. It's very true. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Being a single mom and having a community, I'm all for it. That's right now. That's where I am. But being when it was the flip of being married, having a husband, I have my kid, it was not a stable home. It was not a happy home. And from the outside looking in, everybody's like, oh, you have the perfect life. But it was not, that's not what it was when I closed the doors. So are we just putting up a front for everyone to say, oh, look what they have and let's try to be like them? Or are we actually projecting and portraying this is what the home is actually when we close our doors? This is not, it's not just look at the front door and say they have the perfect life. No, come into my walls and see what's going on.
Is somebody cutting the backyard?
Well, see, what I was saying in my head, I have to go into more detail when I say things like that, because when I say building a home, I mean inside and out. I'm thinking of I didn't even think about the differences of appearances and the reality. So my bad on that. My thought is building that home, building something with someone you love, and keeping that home running in a healthy way. That was my idea of that. I should have expressed that, but I didn't. But you made some good points.
I don't think it's necessary though, because I think that's the answer to your question personally.
So, do you think that more Black or African American families are finding it unnecessary to build that union, or they're finding it?
Probably, I would say yeah, just because of what the both of y'all said. I mean, you asking the question, why do you think that is? As far as the decline in marriage and the rise in divorce from the 60s to now, I think it's because everybody looks at it with the front, with the like, this is how it's supposed to look. But then closed doors, nobody really shares closed doors. You know what I'm saying? Nobody shares that. So a lot of people go into marriage thinking about with the blueprint. They have a blueprint of this is how it's supposed to be, and this is the quote. This is how it's supposed to be is based off of external factors. How you see stuff on TV nowadays. How like whatever your source is not realistic. Is external, not all that internal. And a lot of women, in my opinion, are terrible teachers. Terrible. Like when they bring up a daughter as a single mother, they know nothing of how to treat a guy. Like look at them. The fact that there's a lot of times the fact that they're single means they fail. That's not always the case. I'm not saying that, but a lot of times the experience that they have is failure, and whatever they can teach their kid is almost non-existent as to how to treat a guy successfully. And that also nowadays is getting worse on the opposite side when men aren't being taught to treat women. That right there builds for a toxic relationship where you don't have a stable. So if you try to make a marriage, a guy and a girl that's ignorant to how to treat women or how to treat men, you don't have a stable man and woman marriage. And it might look good on the outside, but it's toxic inside. And now you'll get divorced because nobody should go through the abuse that you're inadvertently giving the other spouse because you don't know no better. And you're too embarrassed to learn to go to counseling or to read books or to take actual sound advice and go through the hardships of retraining the way that you think.
So I have a question. You're talking about a certain portion and not all, right? Because have you met my mom?
Well, yeah, I thought I made that clear, but keep in mind, if we're gonna do any of these podcasts, let's just go ahead and assume that's what it is, because I don't know any debate to where everybody says all this, all that. So if we're gonna get into our feelings when we say the negative stuff about something, let's just let's just say whenever I speak, I will never ever talk about all men or all women, ever. Because there's multiple answers to this question. People are different, and there's a lot of different problems going about. We're just talking about one of them. I'm just talking about one of them. What I see in my experience, and what I see, that doesn't mean it's the only thing wrong with what we're talking about. Let's just go any podcast to do from now till then. That's what's good. That's what's going to be.
I can't do that. I gotta point it out. I gotta clarify. because not everybody's going to come back to this one podcast where you say that. Unless you're going to say that before every podcast, that you're not talking about all, I got to point it out. It's not me and my feelings. It's simply me pointing out that you don't mean all. And if I do that in a funny way by saying, have you met my mom? When I know you've met my mom, when I know you know who she is, and I know you know she's a single mom, and that I'm the exception to awesome, then that's something I'll bring out in a funny way, and we'll keep moving. What you say?
I'm saying,
awesome.
I am the exception, and I'm awesome.
Let me go ahead on and say. Let me just say this. This is what's really going on. This is why the family structure is broken down, because we've had, especially, I'm gonna just say this. You've had generations upon generations of people that are having free sex, free freaky sex, no condom.
I'm about to just really quick. I cannot help myself. Did every other generation have to pay for sex?
No. What I'm saying, this is what I'm gonna say. No, I'm saying, when I say free sex, I'm not saying pay. I'm talking about reckless.
Okay, so reckless and without thought.
Without thought, no condom, no birth control, no spermicide, no plan B. We just finna just go in raw. And not only am I going in raw, I'm ejaculating inside of you. I'm coming inside of you, and I'm gonna have sex with you multiple times, and then okay, I'm pregnant now. Oh my God, we can't get pregnant. How are we gonna afford this baby? Da 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 da. And then either the dude leaves, or after the baby is born, the mother leaves. So now you got these single parents out here because everybody we young, we horny, we want to get straight to it. Condoms, it don't feel good for the guy because now he can't, his nerve endings can't be fully stimulated. So, he can't come as easily. And the woman now
Loopy, this is your fault.
Now, I'm being for real. I'm just putting it. I'm putting it out there.
Wait, I understand what you're saying. Jay, what you just said? Jashawn, what did you just say?
I said, Loopy, this is your fault.
Oh, okay.
So the woman wants to feel the man's throbbing penis on the inside, and she don't want to be. She want him to, because she know that he ain't feeling it all the way, and she want to have that connection.
Wait.
I'm being
too silly for you to go this far into fucking detail, okay?
Yeah, but I'm just
girl, be quiet. I like these details. Keep on going.
So now the woman wants you to take it off because she wants you to trust her. She on the pill, she on the patch, she on the shot, she got the whatever that thing is, the implant. She wants you to just let it. She just wants, especially if she like it, she wants you to just trust her and give it to her nice and slow or hard and fat, whatever it is, and then y'all you've been smashing for all of 2 months, so all of your sperm is going straight into her, or y'all both could be just, this could be just one hot date and you don't have no condom and it's okay, or the dude could be on some sucker shit and take the condom off while he behind, or the girl could poke 15 holes in the condom and gave it to you, and it's just all these different factors that go on. But the main thing is, don't nobody want to strap up, and that's the thing. That has been killing the Black community, the Latino community. But the difference is, with the Latino community, y'all gonna stick together out there, and y'all gonna make nothing out of something. Yards getting cut, houses getting built. The whole hood is shut down. I just went to California and I saw it with my own eyes. So, they might be living in the hood, but the kids is going to the best schools. They got the whole block locked down. But the black community, we didn't stick together. We didn't stay together. We didn't stick together. We own 0% of the hood. Although we'll kill you for crossing this on this block, and we all hanging out there selling our dope or doing what we doing. And the women
wait. I got a question.
Yes.
Go ahead and finish what you said so you don't lose your thoughts.
So what I'm saying is, so now we've had all this hot, wet, freaky sex that that we've birthed these children in this environment where we own no property, we own no land, we have no commodities, no shops or anything in the hood. We don't have that many skills, or even if we do, we are disenfranchised and we can't get along with each other to start our own businesses when we can't get jobs. So now, so you've been screwing this girl for the past year, and on month 6 you decide to go raw. Another 12 months roll around. Now you trying to figure out how you're gonna take care of this baby. So for the first couple of years, y'all fighting over money, y'all fighting over the woman thinks that the man is cheating the whole time that you're pregnant, and he might, and 50% of the time he might be, so he got another chick pregnant around the same time, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. So either the dude leaves or the woman leaves, the child loses, the men grow up without their masculinity in the house, so they super duper ultra sensitive, so they end up being, they end up questioning themselves as men, and they want to do more feminine things because that's what they got up in the house. The mama is babying them, so when they come across failure, they don't know what to do. They shut down, they act out. The women, they might be gamed up like you, Loopy, whereas you know what's at stake. You know the risk if you go out here and have all this hot, freaky sex unprotected. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the whole community because your mother may be very highly respected, and you get all the alley-oops, and you end up becoming the game changer in the family. So you, instead of 3 generations stuck off in the hood, it's 2 generations, and now you done bought your mama and your grandmama a new house. Y'all all own a business. Y'all all riding Benzes, and the dad saved. And then the male has to fend for himself because don't nobody want to raise nobody else's son, or he might rise up and get him a degree and get him a job at a Fortune 500 company, or start his own company, or he might be a rapper, he might be an athlete, he might be this, that, and the third. But that's like a 75 to 90%, like a 5 to 10% chance.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, it's like a 5 to 10% chance of you being successful to the 75, 95% of the chance where you either blue collar and you constantly hustling and you trying to make it, or you on the other end of the spectrum, you're gang banging, you're poor, you're destitute, or ladies, y'all out here on the pole, on the block, but dudes is out here tricking, so you can come up and you could be Cardi B or Nicki or whoever you gonna be, and if you do it the right way, women, you'll be able to bounce back. Meanwhile, I don't think it's that many dudes out here slanging peen on the corner. And I dropped my microphone, and that's why the black family is messed up, and we need Jesus.
That's why. Yeah. Wet, hot, freaky, unprotected sex. That
exactly
sums it up.
We gotta be honest here, and we wanna screw, and we may be in love with this. What Jody say? I mean, what Tyrese say on Baby Boy? That might be true. I might love
wet, hot, freaky sex. Boy, you love adjectives. You love your adjectives, man.
Yes,
okay. So let me go all back to the unprotected sex, sex, wanting to live in sex, all of that.
Wet, hot, freaky, unprotected sex.
Oh my God! Whatever. Let's go back to that.
You gotta say the right way.
I'm sorry, but does nobody remember the 70s? Was that not worse?
Oh, they was on drugs then.
No.
Everybody be thinking of talking about lean and popping pills. They was on drugs then.
I mean, I don't know. I was born in 1983. I mean, I don't. I'm not a 70s baby.
I was born in 93. Okay, but I still know about. I mean, I still watched Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump was a great view of that. It gave a great historical background on everything that was going on, and to be honest, that's where it started. That was the breakdown of the family, the American family in general. Not white, not black. The breakdown was the 70s, where everyone decided that they did not want to live by society's rules. Nothing wrong with that. They found their own way, but their own way was drugs, swinging, sex, getting into all this stuff. Just okay. It's like wild stuff. It's like everybody grew up with strict parents and decided to wild out. That's the 70s. And then you have the result of that in the 80s. And then to me, that's where it all took off. That's where it all just like went downhill. Because a lot of people decided to rebel against everything that constructed them. Maybe I don't know the right word right now. And they decided that they didn't need morals. Not
they
just
wanted to have that red hot freaky sex. That's what it was.
Not just the red hot freaky sex. They don't need
word,
the
Lord
morals
Jesus.
that their Christian parents pushed on them. They didn't need to have integrity. They didn't need to do this. I should be free. So what if I have a child? I am a free human being. Accept me the way I am. Okay, well then don't reproduce. If you're such a free human being and you don't want responsibilities, don't reproduce. Put a condom on. Free human being.
But you can't have that red hot freaky sex if it ain't unprotected. You know what I'm saying?
My question would be, what caused them to feel that they needed to rebel, like at that point in time?
Because women wasn't equally represented. Dudes felt like that everybody, like society was pushing them to go and get a job, and
no, you're doing too much.
No, that's what it was.
It's too much. I got some easy words for you. They were young.
So what? I was young, but I didn't
wanted to do what they wanted to do. What they wanted to do. They were young and they were sheltered and they wanted to explore outside the world. And they, excuse me, it's like when you're raised in a super strict home where you can do nothing, and then at the age of 18, they release you to whatever college you want to go to and everything that you want to do. What do? You'll do like one of two things, maybe three. I don't know what the third would be. You will remain a sheltered person and go with the safe things that you already know, or you will bust out and break loose and just experiment and do everything you can and touch everything you can, because for 18 years you couldn't do nothing. There may be a halfway point in there.
Is there like a halfway point in there?
That's what I'm saying. It could be a middle ground where you're cautious but you still break out. But I rarely see that. I mainly see either one or two. So my thought is, when you grow up in such a strict environment, that the result is it's like you're in a prison, and once you're released from that prison and you have all these options and you're never taught how to handle these options responsibly, it's all blind. You're blinded because you were sheltered. So because you're not taught how to handle these responsibilities in an appropriate way, or these options in a responsible way, that's better, then you're wilding out. And you shouldn't do that. Parents should teach their children how to handle certain situations. They should prepare them for what they're going to experience because they will not be in your home forever. And if they're in your home forever without a disability, you're failing as a parent. I'm not a parent, and I know that.
Mm-hmm. But that's the other part too. Go ahead, Valencia,
Sorry.
go ahead.
My next silly question is, okay, so the parent should prepare the child, but now what happens if that parent was in a sheltered home too and they weren't prepared from their parents? It's like a generational curse. Like, you won't know what to do.
Google the shit.
Right?
They didn't have Google back then, dum-dum. Shit.
See, the thing is too, is that if the person doesn't have they don't have the foundation either, and they decide to have the child, now that child has to learn, you know, they have to make the decisions and basically wing it on their own because their family wasn't what's the word, like they didn't have the foresight to say, okay, I'm gonna have this child. I'm not that educated. I'm gonna have this child anyway. I don't have a whole lot of money. I'm not, you know, or I'm not. I got a steady job, or whatever. Now, you know, I don't have no money saved up or whatever. But we're gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be all right. You know, that's what
I don't really know where I'm going with this.
What I'm saying is the parent, whichever parent it is, whether it be the mother or the father, they make these executive decisions and they don't say, okay, they don't plan it out to a T when they start having the child. They just start deciding to have, they had a hot, wet, freaky sex and they had the baby and they assume, okay, well, both of us are working right now. There's no savings. There's no education. Those two people aren't as educated. They're not bringing them up in a safe environment where it could breed creativity. Most of them aren't even high school or high school educated. You got two people that, you know, barely graduated high school. You got people that graduated high school in the 70s, 80s, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and the 90s that barely got out of high school and they just jumped up and had a baby and they haven't even started their lives. So they're uneducated children having uneducated children, and it all goes back to them wanting to have that high, wet, freaky sex without having the protection and not having the foresight because they're thinking, oh, we're gonna be okay. I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna do this, and this, not knowing, okay, when you have a child, you got to take care of that child. And some people, even after they have a child and raise a child, the child already gone, they decide, oh, I'm good. So I'm ready to go do my thing. I'm ready to go out here and be whatever, and not take the precaution of, okay, maybe I'm gonna have him put a condom on, and if he don't want to put a condom on, or she don't want to put she don't want me to wear a condom, I'm not gonna mess with that person. No, when especially you in the heat of the moment, you know what I'm saying? Well, you got folks like, and no disrespect to I ain't gonna say to Drizzy, but when you have folks out here like Drake, and he got all this money and status, and this is my guy here I'm talking about, because Drake got me through a whole lot of stuff.
Really? You've been listening to Drake at night with the lights off? Is that what you've been doing?
No.
That would explain
like,
some shit.
More like my workouts. Anyway, but when you got him and he got the money, the fame, the status, and the base, he can afford to go out here and smash a chick, and he still treats it like he's at the crib in his mama's basement trying to get some raps off, because he realized that, oh shit, I had a baby, a woman I barely know, and now I got to break this woman off. Now I got to take care of this woman for the next 18 years. So now I can't.
You got to take care of that woman and that child, and as long as that child is around. No, I'm telling you, that's how it worked, though. You say 18 years, but it's never just 18 years because a child is never really ready at 18 to be on their own.
For Drake, he guarantee you he gonna be, because he ain't trying to pay no child support past no 18 years. But anyway, same thing with Eminem.
Wait. Let's rewind. Let's give a little lesson. Did you know that in most states, if a child decides to go to college,
it goes to like 20, 25 basically. But I'm saying Drake gonna have it. Drake got money forever. But even he realized, he like, damn, I can't be out here rolling around out here throwing my dick in the dirt, because now I got this baby by this woman who, who has a checker pass, and now everybody looking at me like I'm the scum of the earth. Even though I do care about this woman, because Drake is that type of dude. He gotta like you before he busts it down up in you. But even with him, we go around as black people. We go around like we are Arbery, and we got all this money and this opportunity and stuff like that. We don't have it yet, but we know it's out there. But so we make things hard upon ourselves, and we make things hard upon the children. So now the children, we precondition the children that they have to take care of us because because we made a wrong mistake. So now these children are growing up with this insurmountable pressure. So now they want to jump out here and get into, this is part 2 of why the family is broke down. Now they want to get out here and get into the streets. Now they're kicking in doors. They kicking in doors. They running houses. They selling dope. The girls is got their head down, booty popping on a handstand and everything else like that, because now I got to take care of mama instead of mama taking care of me.
Booty popping on the handstand and anything to do with the twerking thing, those are actually come from cultures where it's not considered inappropriate.
Yes, but we out here trying to get some money though, because we got to take care of mama, because mama didn't think to have daddy, or daddy didn't think to have a condom on when he smashed mama. I'm not gonna put
but you know what? I'm sorry, I have to disagree, because first, I don't care how many times we talk about safe sex. We're gonna fuck without a condom. Like, there's just gonna be that piece is gonna fuck. It just feels better. It just happens. But to say that the reason we declining is because we didn't put a condom on, I think that's fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. Respectfully, I think that's probably like one of the last things on the list as to the reasons why we declining as a family. Because first of all, we kind of need that red, hot, wet, freaky sex to begin to make a family, because because honestly, without sex, without the condom on, we ain't got no family. We just got you. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, we need that red, hot, wet, freaky sex to make the babies, and then we get a family. From then on, now we have a family dynamic. The reason why we're declining is not because of the way we make them, is because of a lot of things that's not red.
Wait. Could it be that as a community we've stepped out of our own because we feel that either it's toxic or that it drains us? Could it be that as a community, men and women, because we as women actually outnumber black men? So could it
toxic
be
and it's hard. It's toxic and it's hard. So I believe what happens is, I think a lot of us has given up and said, well, fuck this. I will go at the bare minimum and just fuck everybody else. Like,
or that we stepped out into a different race. I know a lot of here's the thing though. I know a lot of black women that date white men that do not have to justify the shit. Let me explain. I know a lot of black women, just not know them personally, but if I'm scrolling online, I'm in a few groups with interracial couples and things along those lines, that they're happy where they are. I'm happy. Excuse me. Just let me be happy. I don't need to justify why I'm happy. Just know that I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen black men, when they go outside the race, because there are some black women that do not approve. So because of those black women that do not approve of it, they feel like they have to justify themselves. We as black women, I've seen, don't really give a fuck whether or not you feel I need to justify it or not. This is what it is. But black men feel attacked and they feel like they need to justify it. So then black women are the scapegoat. We're all black women are this, all black women are that. So this is why I'm with a white woman. When fact is, that's just where you fit right now.
I mean, I wouldn't say scapegoat because honestly, if you as a black woman is gonna have that attitude, like that's doing the opposite to your resume. Because
what you talking about? What attitude?
Of like you said when the
Oh, what happened?
Oh no, he went away.
Yeah, if you're saying like when you said that like black women have a problem with a black dude having a white woman.
Yeah, some of them
or
do.
vice versa.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you're saying that, basically that's the attitude that they have, and most of the time that attitude is coming from women. Quite frankly, and that attitude right there, that's part of the toxicity. Like honestly, like if you're gonna have that type of attitude, I don't know what else you got, because that's not conducive to your resume.
Yeah, those women with those attitudes.
I don't want to be with a woman with an attitude like that, no matter what their race. Like, and for some reason, black women, if they're not the only ones, they're the ones that primarily have that attitude, because they're thinking narrowly. They're thinking on a narrow scale. Like, dude, it's not about the community. Doesn't have to be just black. Like you just said. Like, they don't give a fuck. Just let me be happy. That's the fucking goal. And back in the day, it was like white on white, black on black, Latino, yes. But nowadays, shit changed. And we in America, that's supposed to be a melting pot. You know?
Wait. They're supposed to be a melting pot. But the same people that made the pot and say it's supposed to be a melting pot are the same people that don't treat it that way. The people that are leading us, supposed to be leading us in the forefront, are the same people that go against the Constitution. They're the same people that say you can't kneel during the anthem to support any fallen people that should not have fell due to our,
those are two different things. The families ain't have nothing to do with Constitution. It's basically how you deal with integrity and how you treat people.
But
you know what I'm saying? That's all it is. There's no Constitution that supports how you're supposed to act.
You could not marry outside your race, and that goes against the Constitution. You're supposed to be. It's a melting pot. It's everything coming together and building on it. But for a long time, they said, because you're brown, you can't be with this white person and you can't build. That's against everything.
And we're gonna but see, this is the thing about it.
That's a long, hard road that we had to fight. But again, like whatever governs the household to over decline, there's no actual law or guideline that's supposed to take anything away. Like, we just had fucked up attitudes and we restricted a lot of shit. Like, slavery was all across the board. You know, that's just is a mindset, an attitude that's been evolving. For some reason, it's still here in some way, shape, or form. But as far as what we're talking about, the decline of the black family, like the dynamic of the family itself, because we're talking about now. Okay, we brought up the 60s, 70s, 80s, yes, but now it's like we have less of an excuse.
That is very true. And here's the thing. I'm going to say I understand some things, but I don't agree with some things. I understand in the beginning how a black man with a white woman or a white man with a black woman could be seen as betrayal. In the beginning, I can understand. Do I approve? Nah, based on modern shit, not really. But in the beginning, I could understand how it seems like betrayal, because these people are killing us, and you're going to go and marry one of them? The fuck? These people held us captive. These people took us from our home. These people did this. These people do that. I mean, they're white people and the history of white people and of their ancestors, they're not to blame for everything, but some things, yeah, a little bit. So these people that are trying to suppress us at every turn, you're going to betray us and go marry one of them? What the fuck? And to be honest, I'm going to be very honest. It looked like, I don't have facts on this. I have not looked into this. This is off the dome. It looks like black men did it before black women. That it cannot be fact. I know there's a whole movie on a white man and a black woman. But I could see how black women started to see that as a betrayal. And
see, the thing about it is black women, because black men have not came in. Okay, because black men have not came in and took back the community, and the black women have ran the community for so long. It's kind of like, okay, they are calling the shots. So the black women right now are running the black community. And it's almost like black men have made a separate black community, because the black community where the black women run it, where it's maybe a couple stand-up guys, it's a couple guys that are actually handling business, guys that are stepping up, taking care of other folks' kids, and then you got all these black women running the church, black women on the school board, black women in positions of power in the government, and it's like, where's the black men? So then when they look over at the black men and say, okay, well, I'm gonna dip over here, and then I'm gonna go over here and marry this this white woman, or marry this Latina woman, or marry this person outside the race. It's almost like a betrayal, because we've had all these people that did all this hot, wet, freaky sex, and then they didn't dip because they didn't want to take care of their responsibility, or the woman made it hard for them to take care of the responsibility by not letting them see the child or whatever. So the family died. It all starts at home. So we have been at war with each other, black men and black women, for ages, and it all stems for us having self-control. Yes, Kay, we do have to have the hot, wet, freaky sex to get here, but we also had to have the control. We had to build a structure and a solid foundation. So when we do start having the hot, wet, freaky sex, we can have as many kids as we want to, because we're financially, intellectually, and capable to have those kids, and our community will be able to support them. If and when something should happen to us, we can help each other.
I definitely agree with that. Although it is hard to do that, considering that price, wages don't really go up, but the prices of things do. That is making it hard to do what you say, because I do agree with that, like, wholeheartedly. But that's another struggle in of itself.
Yeah, and on that note, you touched on a few things that's going to continue this subject. We are not done. I planned for this. I plan to have multiple parts of the fall of the black family. So we're not done on this discussion, but we are going to end this recording. And so there's going to be a part 2 of the fall of the black family.
Everybody say bye to Craig.
Exactly. We're going to say bye to the Craig. Bye.